I'm pushing really hard. I can't get much past 28. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Good strong pull. Very nice. The thin tires. I'm used to riding fat tires, so those things, they steer like a tank. This thing feels awesome. I'm probably making you dizzy with all this. So I'll stop. All right, while we're talking about power, let's show it on the hill. Look at this thing cruise. Holy cow, buddy. What's going on, everyone? This is one of the newest bikes from Lectric e-bikes. They call it the Express. And let me sum it up for you really quick. Super comfortable to ride, very nimble, very lightweight. I think it weighs like 63 pounds, ready to ride. Great power out of the 750 watt rear hub motor, torque sensor, and it goes for $12.99. Sound good? Let me tell you more. For those of you researching and considering the Lectric Express, there's a couple different options they allow you to pick from. You can choose your frame style, step through or step over, and you can choose your motor and battery combination. The base model has a 500 watt motor with a 10.4 amp hour battery pack. This is the upgraded version. So we got step through frame and then a 750 watt motor with a 14 amp hour battery pack. And overall, I like the look of this one. It looks pretty sharp. It seems to be constructed very well. Paint job's very nice. You got some nice parts on the bike. And I think it's going to be one that's friendly towards bike paths, greenways, and towards folks who are accustomed to riding a regular bicycle. You know, it's got that bicycle feel to it, but this one's just got that motor in the back that's going to give you the extra power to get up the hills you might not normally be able to climb, or to help you go for an even longer ride. Now let me give you a bit of a walk around on the Express bike, commuter style, so has more of what I'll call a traditional bicycle tire on it. 27.5 by 2.1 is the tire size. They are Choyoung Airsun is the name. And I like the tread pattern, smooth, quiet. I think it's a good choice. The front wheel's held on with a through axle, and you do have a quick release lever. And that's really one of the only things you gotta install upon arrival. I had to put on the front tire and also put in the quick release pedals. And after that, you're pretty much ready to ride. The Express has got a really nice fork on the front. It says e-bike rated suspension right here, TC80. And then right here it gives you the travel. Travel is 80 millimeters. And on top, you've got preload adjustment over here and your compression adjustment and lockout features right here. Great fork, seem to function really nicely. At the front of the bike, you got a headlight. I'm gonna turn everything on. So let's just turn our power on really quick. And then you hold the plus key for a few seconds and that'll turn your light on. So headlight at the front, and then we've got a tail light at the back. However, this is not a brake light. No brake light feature to it. It's just steady lit once you turn the lights on. Now, if you go with the step through model, like I did, it comes with this adjustable handlebar stem. So all you gotta do is push up right here with your thumb and you can release this lever like that. Now, this is wide open for you to adjust like up and down and tilt it any which way you want. That is something that only comes on the step through versions. The step over doesn't have that. And the step through also has these really swept back handlebars, which at first I thought they felt kind of narrow, but after a while, they felt super comfortable. Really cool feature. It does make for a really comfortable ride position. Show you all the controls up here. You have a right hand thumb throttle right here, rubber locking grips, your 7-speed shifting here, display screen, nice big bright readable display screen. I'll get my LED lights out of the way for you there, but great display. And then your button cluster over here to control everything. There's only a few settings I went in to look at, which was basically the top speed. I think that was the only thing I changed. And you can change it from basically a class 2, how it arrives, and bump it up to a class 3 bike. So you'll get that 28 mile an hour speed. But it'll arrive class 2, everything's set to 20 miles an hour. The throttle only takes you to 20. If you want the 28 speed, you got to pedal. And it's a torque sensor, so it makes you work for it to get that speed out of it. Your battery pack is integrated into the frame right here very nicely. And then to release it, you just have to put the key in on the other side. I've already got it in there. Turn the key. You'll see it pop out a little bit, and then there's a button right here. You push the button and everything will drop out. So 48 volt, 14 amp hour in this upgraded model. And the other one, the base model, I think is 10.4 amp hour. But it looks really nice in there. Very easy to remove. And of course you can charge it either on or off the bike. But range always seems to be a pretty big topic. People always want more. So I guess if it were me, I would probably just go with the upgraded version. Go with the bigger motor, bigger battery pack right from the start. It's an extra 300 bucks to get this model here. I like the step-through frame designs better. It allows access for more people. It's just easier, especially if you're going to put a rack and bag on the back rather than having to swing your leg over. And this one, the step-through height, to, right in here, it's about 20, 21 inches. So it's not crazy low, but still much better than the high step version as far as accessibility. They did a great job with the gearing because you got 46 tooth up front. It's a plastic chainring, double-sided. And then on the back is 11/28. So you've got great feeling in the pedals pretty much at all speeds. Pedaling at 25 plus miles per hour is very comfortable. Pretty much no ghost pedaling on this bike at all. It's a Shimano 20 on the derailleur with a derailleur guard there as well. I always like to see that. That gets damaged in shipping a lot, but this one came through perfect. And you got a chain slap guard here, rubber that's stuck on there. That's nice, saves your paint job. Some good attention to details on the Xpress. You've got your rear hub motor here in the back wheel, 750 watt. They say it peaks around 1400. I was seeing it mostly near the 1300 mark. Plenty of power. Very strong bike. It definitely does not disappoint in the power department. And as far as who can ride this, it's going to fit a pretty good variety of riders. This minimum seat height is 31 inches. That's pretty darn low. The majority of the bikes I see are probably close to the 33, 34 mark. So having it go down to 31 is going to make shorter riders feel much more comfortable on this one. Even me at 6 feet tall, I was super comfortable riding this. Very easy to get into a comfortable ride position, extend my legs as much as I want to. And the adjustable stem is really nice too, to get the handlebars exactly where you want them. And the fact that it's a quick release adjustment means if you have to share the bike with someone else, it's going to be great for that. I think I forgot to mention the brakes, but they are 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes. Work just fine. The website lists this bike at 58 pounds. It weighed in at 63 on my scale. Pretty lightweight for the size of the bike, coming in around that 60-pound mark. Maximum rider weight is 330 pounds. Max weight on the rack, I think, is 30 pounds. And also, just so you know, this bike is UL certified to 2271 and 2849. And I think that's enough about specs and components, so let me show you this bike in action. All right, let's go for a top speed test. Throttle only first. So pulls actually pretty good, wow. Right up to 20 and stops. So now if you want to get more speed, now we got a pedal. Pedal assist 5, 7th gear. See where we can run it up to. I mean, there's 28. I'm pushing really hard. I can't get much past 28. I still hear the motor running, but a little bit of a downhill here. Maybe 29 on the GPS. About 28, 29. Pushing hard. I mean, it's a torque sensor, so you got to push to get the power. So 28, 29 miles an hour. That's pretty good top speed, but it definitely makes you work for it. The torque sensor, if you want to go 28 miles an hour, you're going to be pushing pretty hard. I guess that's the drawback of the torque sensor, is you can't just spin the pedals and get all the power. You're going to have to work for it. But the torque sensor functions pretty well. In the lower level, so I'm in, let's do 1 right now, and I start pushing, it's kind of a gradual build to the power. Level 2, same thing, it's pretty tame. 3 is where you feel the power start really amping up a little bit. 4, you really feel the juice kick in, look at that. And then 5 is full power. So you're taking off when you're pushing hard on the pedals. It's really, really strong system. I'm impressed with the motor power in this thing. Wow. And I've got the display screen set up here to show you the current. So let's take it down to 1. I'll just push the throttle and it gives us 4 amps of current. Pedal assist 2, it climbs to like 10 amps. 3 takes you to 15 amps. 4 gives you 20 amps of current. And then 5 is probably the max. I think it's 24 amps max. Let's slow down so we can get the power out of it. There, it went to 23.3. So yeah, 24 amp controller, I believe, on this. And your throttle's limited in pedal assist 1 and 2. So 1, the throttle's only going to take you to like 8 or 9 miles an hour. And then in 2, it'll allow you to go about 15 miles an hour. 3, 4, and 5, it's going to take you to the 20 mark and then just cut out. So there's 19, 20, and it's cut out. So always 20 mile an hour cap on the throttle, except if you're in those really low pedal assist, then it's even less than that. There might be a way to unlock that in the settings. I'm not sure. I haven't gone that deep into the settings yet. And in terms of like output watt-wise, there is a watt meter here. Let me see. We'll go in the shade here. You can get a look at it. I'm going to bump it up to 5. So you can see the peak watts. Here we go. Ready? It went to almost, it was like 1250 something. I think this is supposed to peak around 1400. Might be better to do on the hill climb. 1250 is the highest I saw go there, like 1254, but that's a good amount of power coming out of this thing, especially on a lightweight bike this only weighs 63 pounds. All right, while we're talking about power, let's show it on the hill. Look at this thing cruise. Holy cow, buddy. This thing's fun. This is fun because you got the power of like a 750 bike, but it's on a lightweight package, lightweight frame. That's crazy. All right, here we go. 750 motor in this. They'll typically climb the hill 22 to 24, 25 seconds, somewhere in there. I think this one's going to do pretty good. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. Slight delay on there on the throttle, but it feels strong already. We're up to 12 miles an hour already. 13. Wow, this thing's motoring right up this hill. 15 miles an hour. This is going to be a great time. You're surprising the heck out of me here. And time. Wow. Wow. That's strong. This thing, it's got some good torque. Yep, good torque. I would have no worry about climbing a hill with this thing. Wow. It is zippy. It is torquey. It's powerful. Impressive. Now let me give you some feedback on ride quality. Smooth. This thing feels smooth. It feels light. It feels nimble. Wow. I mean, it definitely feels lightweight, very easy to kind of flick around. You want to do some in-town riding, zipping around through traffic. This, I think, would be great for that. The bars, when I first felt them, I'm like, I'm not sure about the swept back because they come really swept back and they felt a little tight. But the more I ride it, the more comfortable they get. It's so comfy. It's a relaxing ride position because I got the bars up nice and tall. They come back to me. It's a natural grip with your hands. It's really comfy to ride, but man, it's also like really peppy. You step on it and the thing freaking takes off. Craziness. Really like that. But let's slow back down and let's enjoy the ride because that's what this thing's kind of built to do. Tone down the power, go down to 3. But yeah, it feels very nimble. It feels very light. That's, you know, the tires, the thin tires. I'm used to riding fat tires, so those things, they steer like a tank. This thing feels awesome. I'm probably making you dizzy with all this. So I'll stop. But the bars are nice. I like the swept back after I kind of got used to them. But the other version, the step over frame, has the straight bars if that's what you want. But I specifically always ask for the step through because I just like the ease of it. And more people can ride it. And they're just, I don't know, I like them better. One more thing about the bars and the seat height. I think a short person could definitely ride this bike. The seat goes low enough that if you're 5'2" or 5'3", I think you're getting on the seat no problem. And the reach to the bars, I think, is no problem. But in order to get the bars to come back, they got to go up with this adjustable stem. So if you're a shorter person, just my thoughts, I've lived my life as a tall person, I don't know. But my thoughts are, if you're shorter, the reach to the bars isn't going to be an issue. It just they might feel high. You might feel with the seat solo, they might be feel like they're up here, really tall. But I do like the adjustable stem. That's pretty convenient. So ride position and body position on this are really good, but you're going to need either another seat or a suspension seat post. The seat's pretty firm, at least for me anyway. And if you get off-road into the bumpy ground, I mean, you feel it coming through the seat pretty good. The forks are nice. Forks are nice. I like the TC80 forks. Those are great. But in terms of ride comfort, I'd want a thicker seat or suspension post, definitely. So know that. Let's try to show you an acceleration here from the stop. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Good strong pull. Very nice. Good power in this thing. I keep saying it over and over, but I'm impressed with the power. Forks feel good. It's a smooth fork. That TC80, I mean, it feels really good. I like the fork a lot. It's a good component there. Brakes feel good. Not the best hydraulic brakes I've ever had, right? But they're hydraulic and they bring you to a stop nice, smooth. No problem. Skidding the tire anytime you want. Frame feels good. I know people have been asking about that a lot lately. This frame feels really sturdy. I mean, even if I shake the bars, it doesn't feel like this frame moves at all. Now, I know that wiggle that sometimes happens on bikes and the handlebars wobbling, it's also got a lot to do with weight distribution. You put a lot of weight on the back behind the rear axle. So if you put 100 pounds on the rear rack on this, which I can't test, I don't have a rack, who knows what would happen, but it feels like a really strong, sturdy frame. So that's my thoughts initially driving it. It feels pretty darn good, actually. Give you one more acceleration. It's got a pretty good little launch to it. Wow, yeah, nice. Okay, and here is a 6-foot tall rider pedaling. Easy to get in a comfy position. Very comfortable bike to ride. Good little drone. Thank you. You're such a good helper. All right. What else about this Express bike? The shifter. So this is kind of your base model shifting mechanism, but I mean, it runs through all the gears just fine. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it shifts perfectly through the gears. I haven't had any problem with that at all. So good to go there. Motor noise. So I'm going to punch it up. We're going to hit the throttle. Can you hear it? Hopefully my lapel mic picks it up. They use their M24 stealth technology for the motor, and it is not as quiet as the Lectric Xpeak. That bike was just silent. You couldn't hear that thing at all. This one, you can hear the motor. You can definitely hear it. It is nowhere near the loudest motor I've ever had, but it's also definitely not the quietest one either. It's an average motor noise. I mean, it hasn't bothered me any. It feels just kind of like a normal motor noise for me. It's not as silent as that Xpeak though, if you were wondering. Alrighty, so very good power on this thing. Very comfortable ride, nimble, lightweight feeling. You know, some good components on this one. It feels like a pretty good value for the money. And when Lectric first wrote to me and said, you know, do you want to review the Express bike? I looked it up and looked at the specs and the pricing. And I was like, yeah, that looks like a pretty good bang for your buck. I'll do that. And they wrote back and said, well, yeah, we're Lectric. That's what we do. So, I mean, I think that captures it perfectly. That's what they do. They offer you a solid bike at a great price. So I always tell people, if you're shopping for your first e-bike, go for the cheaper route until you know exactly what you're going to want. And Lectric's one to look at. I mean, they offer you a good bike at a good price. I don't know if you can really go wrong there. The Express bike does have some really great things going for it. One big one, I think, is the weight. It's really light. I mean, 63 pounds, ready to ride, battery included and everything. That is the weight of like a 20-inch wheel folding bike. And this is a full-size bike. So bike racks, I mean, they typically hold, you know, maybe 100, 120 pounds. You could put 2 of these on there, take the battery out. It's going to be down in the 50-pound range. So it's going to be bike rack friendly. That's a good thing. The fat tire bikes, man, when they're like 80, 90 pounds, I mean, the racks can't even hold them. You have to buy a special rack for them. But there are a few things missing on this bike right here. One is the fenders. If you're going to ride this kind of every day, you might want to add a set of fenders to it. Same with the rack. You're going to want to carry a bag with you. Probably going to end up needing a rear rack. Depending on when you catch this, they do offer specials where they include some of that stuff for free. So you're going to have to check the website, see if they're including that in the purchase price at any point in time. There is no front basket option. I'm kind of surprised at that. There's no mounting spot there on the head tube for a front rack or basket. Thought that should be there, but it does have rear rack mounting spot though. There's no brake light. This is just a tail light. That's it. Only tail light. What else? The seat, I mean, it looks nice. It looks sharp, but it's pretty thin, pretty firm. Gonna either need a suspension post or softer seat, I think. But other than those few little things, nice little setup. You've got multiple accessory mounts here. Couple right here on the frame and then right there underneath the seat. But yeah, good. I mean, impressive. It's pretty impressive. I still can't get over the power on this thing. That's pretty strong for a 750 commuter bike. This thing gets up and moves, man. Woo! It's supposed to rain like the next 5 days, so take in the wonderful Carolina blue sky while I can. Well, if the Lectric Xpress is on your short list, I hope this video gave you some more insight into what this bike is all about. Great bike for the price, and it's pretty typical for Lectric to offer free upgrades at the time of purchase. When I checked the website this morning, they were offering a comfort package upgrade, which is a wider seat and suspension post for free, and also a Go package, which was a phone mount, a bike lock, and an upgraded headlight for free. All for the same purchase price of $12.99. So I don't quite know the magic secret of how they continue to do this and offer such a great value at the price point they do, but I mean, you got to be happy as a consumer. I guess that's why they've grown so much, become one of the biggest brands, and why people keep choosing them. So if I missed a topic today and you still have a question, drop in the comments. I'll do my best to answer if I can. And as always, I hope you found this helpful, informative, hopefully entertaining. If you did, consider hitting subscribe. Coming back for more. Thanks.